Flying is arguably the worst form of transportation there is. Boston's Logan Airport, recently rated one of the worst mega airports in the country, by the way. There's construction, long lines, terrible food, cramped seats, cranky babies, cranky adults, and not to mention passengers like these.
No.
But if you thought the stress would end there, think again. Unfortunately, according to Boston Globe travel writer Christopher Muther, there's something that'll gray our hairs even faster, and here's a hint. It crawls. He joins me now with the disturbing details. Hey, Christopher, how are you?
Good, how are you?
We'll get to the crawling in a minute. You know, you wrote the other day, I'm going to start with a proposal where you said it would make you the most unpopular travel writer in Boston.
Yes.
To which I say, make you? I mean, really? In any case, what was that?
It was that I think airlines should limit what people can drink. Specifically, they should go down to 2 drinks per person per flight.
Why?
Essentially, all of those rowdy incidents that you hear about, so many planes get diverted because passengers are out of control. I realize, so it's about 10,000 a year that get arrested, that cause
How
disruptions.
many of those are alcohol related?
That is all alcohol related.
That's all alcohol.
That's all alcohol, yeah.
10,000?
10,000, yes.
So
I mean, not all of those result in arrest, obviously, but it's, causes other disruptions.
And the reason they won't do it is because they make a ton of money on alcohol, I assume.
Exactly, yeah. This was a few years ago, but it's about $150 million a year in alcohol sales. So,
didn't they used to have a 2-drink limit when I was younger? Wasn't there, or some kind of drink limit?
You mean back in the Stone Age?
Yes, there was.
Yeah.
That's right.
No,
I was flying with the Flintstones. Actually,
I remember your feet were out there at the plane.
It
was a 2-drink minimum.
Laughing at your own jokes.
I am. Someone
sad.
Has to, right?
Exactly. Good.
Up through the late '80s, early '90s, you could only have 2, and then after that, all bets were off.
By the way, I am totally with you on this thing. Even though obviously they can circumvent it by drinking before in the lounge, but whatever.
Exactly.
It's great. You know, I mentioned in the beginning, and I hope I didn't overstep my bounds, but I think it was one of your stories, J.D. Power or somebody ranks us amongst the, was it 17 major airports or something?
So 19th mega airports, we're number 16
That's
out
pretty
of the
bad,
19.
right?
Yeah. I think
why are we so low?
The official rating is about average. We were called out for too much construction. And getting in the way of people's enjoyment of the airport.
That's arguably a good thing. No, I'm serious.
Enjoy the airport?
Well,
yeah,
actually, by the way, when I'm in other cities, I will often go to the airport early, not because I'm, well, I am neurotic, but not because of my neuroses, but it's often fun. I mean, it's a nice restaurant, a little shopping. I mean, Boston Public Market is actually opening a deal, one of the terminals,
Yeah,
right?
They're going to open in Terminal C, 6,000 square feet, and there'll be some local businesses there. Sullivan's will be there, which would be great. So, yeah, I mean, that is an advantage that this is happening. However, it's set us behind other airports. So, as a result, we're ranking far down. Below us is LAX, Chicago O'Hare, and then Newark.
Do we deserve to be? I mean, you seem to be equivocal.
No, I think that Logan is getting a bum deal.
Because it's construction related?
Because construction related. However, Terminal E, I think, is beautiful now.
I think
C is fantastic.
Too, yeah.
B is coming along. It's in construction now, but I was just there the other day, and it looks like will be quite nice.
You know why C is a lot nicer? I mean, actually, I agree with you on this. The fact that the state cops are not putting everybody who drives by in handcuffs when they stop for a nanosecond to drop off their loved ones is really, I think, an important development.
It is. It really helps the enjoyment of the airport when you're not in handcuffs.
Can we discuss that Kroll story? You wrote a disgusting little story. I mean, a disgusting story.
Least popular travel writer in Boston.
About a guy, I think on American Airlines, flying to France.
Yeah.
What did he find on his shoulder or something?
A bed bug. So his claim is that he found a bed bug, and then by the time he got to Paris, he was itching up a storm, lifted his shirt, and he was covered in bites. So it was on American Airlines. They claimed that it did not happen on American. They said it could have been a mosquito, it could have been a flea. They said it was not a bed bug, and it was not on American. But I spoke to a lot of entomologists, a lot of dermatologists who I showed the photos. They said,
of the mark from the bug?
Of the man's bites. They said it's in line with what a bed bug bite would look like. It's always a series of 3. However, it could be something else, unless he had the bug itself to show, which he didn't. He said he saw it and flicked it.
But wait a second, didn't you write that at least a couple, was it British Airlines and Air India or something, have had bed bugs on the flights?
On the flight, yes. They've had, British Air has had like infestations of bed bugs. They've had to take planes out of service and fumigate. It's been so bad. Yes.
That is disgusting.
Because airline travel wasn't already pleasant enough.
You know, I'm pretty much a student of your work, as I think you know. Do you notice off this bed bug story, there's a little bit of a trend, a pattern in your work? Do you notice this?
About things being unpleasant
No.
air?
First, we have this bed bug story today.
Yes.
Then we can go back to July, and you wrote a story about the stink bugs arriving, and I believe that was in Georgetown. Well, I'm not done. The stink bugs. Mm-hmm. And then before that, in March, you wrote a story about naked hotels or something. We were there with like an ultraviolet. I mean, so there is a bug theme that's
I guess
running.
maybe I knew I was a germaphobe. I guess I'm kind of an insectophobe. Is that a word?
This could be a whole series kind of thing.
It probably will be. I don't think I'm the only one, though, who falls into that category.
Call that entomologist. You know, can we end on some non-nasty stories for a second? You went to Portugal, and you took, not only did you write a beautiful piece, but you wrote, Sintra, is that what it's called?
Sintra, yes.
Some of the photographs that you took are about as beautiful as anything I've ever seen. Everybody, people like you, popular and unpopular, say Portugal's the destination. Give us a minute on Portugal, and particularly this part of it.
Really kind of took off a couple of years ago, and now I can't remember what the numbers are, but the percentage of Americans has swelled there. So
affordable, or what's
affordable? That's part of it. It is quite affordable. And then you have Lisbon, which is a beautiful city capital. You have Porto, which is kind of formerly gritty, now quite charming wine and port destination. Mm-hmm. And then half an hour outside of Lisbon is a place called Sintra, which is loaded with castles and palaces sort of built in the 1800s, 1900s.
Beautiful.
And just stunning, but most of the time people just go as a day trip out of Lisbon, where it really deserves. I went for 4 days, and there was still a lot that I wanted to do when I was there.
Well, it's a great story, and it was beautiful photographs. By the way, I just realized, so it was squirrels, and now it's bugs. I mean, you have a little niche thing
I'm
going.
sort of a vermin expert, in addition to travel, yes.
Thank you, Christopher Muther. Thank you for the
Thank
most
you.
popular travel writer in my mind.
Too kind.